Welcome. This is just a quick demonstration to show off the new keyboard in action. I've blogged about it over the last sort of couple of weeks, just describing that it's something that I've written entirely from scratch to better interact with the emulator, the iFrodo emulator. So as I click buttons in this keyboard area here, they'll actually send the messages immediately to the emulator as if it were typing on the real hardware. So you can see the layout here is pretty basic. The color scheme's sort of somewhat Commodore 64-ish from what I've gathered from images on the net. It has some of the standard keys there, the Commodore key, run, stop, restore. We've got multiple layout support, so I can add more layouts with additional keys as I need to. Obviously the F keys aren't here, the function keys aren't here right now, but they'll be added later. And some other features that sort of come from the standard iPhone interaction, so like double clicking will lock a key, so I can, as you'll see as I type these, it's actually entering in the graphics characters for the keyboard. Let's delete those. And also double clicking the Commodore key does the same thing, but it puts its own graphics characters in there. This is the basic keyboard in effect. This button here, the little aeroplane, just toggles the speed so that it runs in high speed mode. I'm just going to quickly do a couple of demonstrations of it in action. So let's do the canonical hello world. I'll be adding additional support for as you click the shift key or the Commodore key, it'll actually change the layout to show the actual key that's going to print when you do that. So that's sort of more of a rainy day task. It's not something that we really need to sort of get the emulator running. So more of a nice to have. But anyway, here is hello world in action again using the real keyboard. So as I'm typing, you can see the keys are immediately getting sent to the emulator, which is obviously a much better experience. The other thing that we fully support is holding down the mouse and actually selecting the U will, as if you'd run a shift click, held down the shift and done U, but the shift is automatically untoggled off again. So taking some of the behaviors of the native iPhone keyboard as well, so the users will feel a little more comfortable with it. And run, and there we go, hello world. So I can run stop to break it. The run stop's sticking right now. That's just a couple of usability things I've got to work on there. But there we go, keyboard in action. So let's I've seen a few people talking about this particular game, so I thought I would do a quick demonstration of that one starting up. I'm running the full 1541 drive emulation, which means it's running basically the same speed as a traditional 64, so it's much slower than the regular. That'll be one of the settings you'll be able to toggle on or off, because some games require it whereas others don't. So you'll know that because I've actually put some additional code into iFrodo, or into Frodo actually, to capture those unsupported functions and actually display an alert saying that this function is not supported. Switch on full 1541 emulation and rerun the game. So just some user assistance there. So again, we can, actually we want to do list, because we just loaded a directory. I've done a listing, and there it is, Maniac Mansion. So why not just quickly load it up. Let's comma 8, comma 1. So I'll also be we're doing all these commands manually directly on the 64. I'm going to create some UI that allows you to browse the files that you've got on there, and even open up the disks and actually select a specific game to load it and run it, so that users, especially those that are not very familiar with the Commodore 64, won't have to get in and type these commands in directly. So we'll see it's taking a while to load. If I toggle on the speed, certainly runs a lot faster, and the cursor is now blinking at a much higher rate. So we can type in run again, hit enter. And space to kick it off. I've actually moved for now the joystick emulation up here, but the keyboard will be something you can toggle on or off any time, so that while you're playing a game it doesn't need to be there. And I'll be introducing support for rotating the display and things like that as well, so you can actually play in landscape mode. So if you'll see I can move the cursor around using the touch sort of emulation. I noticed there was that iControl pad as a piece of hardware that you'll be able to plug into your iPhone into and actually get a full D-pad and fire button. So I'm going to support that as well, which will be great because then you won't have to use the screen at all. I think it's going to be a fantastic little addition to the iPhone. So let's select a couple of players. And we'll run over and hit the start. Toggle the speed to get it going again, and turn it off. And there we have it, Maniac Mansion running on the iPhone. The other thing will be support for switching disks and so on as well, so that'll be coming in a future video cast. But thanks for watching, and see you next time.